I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to explain the power indicator. This is our base plate. This is our power indicator. Okay, so when GE Telechron started making clocks back in the 1920s, the power grid was new in the United States of America. And what that meant was that sometimes the power could just go out for no reason. And then it would just come back on. And the idea was if you had an electric clock, the power might go out and then come back on, and your clock would stop when the power went out and come back on when the power came back on, and you wouldn't know that the power had gone off. So you'd think you were looking at the right time when you were looking at the wrong time. I use an example like, I got to be at work at 2:30. I take a nap. While I'm taking a nap, the power goes out for 15 minutes. I wake up, my clock says it's 2:20. I think I've got 10 minutes to get to work when actually I'm already 5 minutes late. So there had to be some kind of warning system on the clock face that told people that the power had gone out. All right, and that's what the indicator is, the power indicator is. It's not actually supposed to be red when the clock is in operation. It's supposed to be whatever color the face is. And it shows right through this top hole. Okay, so if this clock is plugged in, then what you should see through this hole is this white color or ivory color. It's the color of the clock face. If you see this red, it means that at some point the electricity was cut off to this clock. So that's just to warn you that and back in the day, what they would do is if they saw that, they would call time using the telephone, and time would give them the correct time so they could reset the clock to the correct time. So you have to reset the power indicator. The power goes off, it's going to drop, and it's going to be red showing through that little hole on the face of the clock. And there's got to be a way to reset it so that it's the color of the face of the clock again. So on these kitchen clocks, this is how it works. Your power indicator, that right there, is going to go into that hole right there. Okay, and what we're doing is we're trying to get this flat spot right here to line up with that end of this staked arm right there. All right, now the way it is if it was in this position, it would be showing red through the little hole in the clock face. By pulling down on the gear shaft, which you need to do to reset it, it's going to push that arm, which is going to kick that thing up. And now it's going to be white through that little hole in the clock face. And now it's reset. Now, why does it stay that way? Well, the reason is because coming through that hole right there is going to be a post which is attached to the coil. And that post has an electromagnetic field around it. So what's going on is your power indicator is like this when the power is on, and it's being held in place by this electromagnetic field surrounding that post. When the power is cut off, it's going to cause that electromagnetic field to disappear, and this is going to drop. Then you're going to see red through that little hole in the clock face. So once the power comes back on, you set the time. In order to set the time, you have to pull the gear set shaft down, and it kicks this back up. And once the electricity has been restored, that electromagnetic field is present again, and it's going to catch the end of that right there and keep it there until the power goes off again. Once that electromagnetic field disappears, it drops down, and that flag is red to the hole in your clock face. So I'm showing you this now, so when we reassemble this, you can make sure that you get it positioned right. And then just what you want to do is make sure that this flat edge right here lines up with that, and you'll be good to go.